All right, so the 49ers win 24-19, and I'm looking at that game last night thinking that's the recipe. Right there. That's the recipe. If they can play like that, to me, that looks like obviously a playoff team. How much further? I'm not really sure. It's still only 4 weeks into the year. You know, can they get better in certain areas? What's injuries going to look like? All that kind of stuff. But look, the defense, as good as they were in the first 3 games, they reached a new level last night. Jimmy Garoppolo was solid. I think we can acknowledge that. The running game was pretty good. So that's the kind of way I'm looking at this game. Like that's about as complete a game as they've played. Well, it is the most complete game they played all year, obviously. But that's got to make a 49er fan optimistic.
No doubt. And we've been saying this since the season started, even before those, Steiny. I'm going Jay-Z, the blueprint. This is the blueprint we saw last year. They got this team to the title game. Okay, so they were the Final Four, and this was it. Debo had 115 yards in the air, and again, I was rooting for Kittle, just number-wise, 2 for 24, but if you asked him right now, he wouldn't give a damn if he had 10 catches and they lost. He would prefer getting 2 for 24 and a win. So now my question to you and the listeners is, where do you go from here? Okay, you're 2-2. I feel like you got a layup with Carolina and Atlanta coming to town. But, man, Steiny, I thought the Rams and losing to the Rams in the championship game last year, you know, if you drop this one, then it would be, I'd be on the roof ready to jump. But like you said, it was solid. And if Jimmy cannot turn the ball over, I mean, the Niners are going to be a problem.
888-957-9570 is the number. You want to talk some San Francisco 49ers. By the way, that game against the Falcons, I believe, is also on the road.
Yeah, 2 road
That's why
games.
they're staying in West Virginia. So they'll be at Carolina, then at Atlanta. You know, one thing I was thinking about, and this is, listen, I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is Joe Montana, that's for sure. But you know how many times I've heard today? You know how many times I've heard today he missed Ayuk on some play that I can't even remember?
Right.
I would say 3 to 5 times I've heard that.
I've heard it 8.
Easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't we talk about the fact that Kittle cost Garoppolo a touchdown pass? He threw the ball right on the money. Any tight end worth his salt tap dances there, and it's an easy touchdown. And you know what else? I disagree with Troy Aikman.
What did Troy say?
The Warner tight end?
Yeah.
He should have caught that ball that was on the outside.
Oh, look at you.
He should have.
Man.
Like, we can't. Look, Garoppolo's the quarterback. He's the quarterback. So you can criticize him all you want. No, he missed this, that, and the other thing. It's like, we got to do the other side, too.
Yeah, but the other side is, did we win or lose? And you look at his one-loss record. We criticize Jimmy. Oh, what does it mean? He's not the trailer. He's the who cares? This dude, when he quarterbacks football games, Steiny, he wins more than he loses. And last night, what I promised myself I wasn't going to do is, okay, where's the stain at in this game besides McKivitz getting hurt? Where's there a stain? I'm not going to individualize who didn't put up numbers in a team win. Now, if there's a loss, it's different.
Look, I think we can start to acknowledge
what?
That guys aren't going to get their numbers in this system.
Okay, all right. And you know what? I don't think they've ever have, Steiny.
And you know what? Like, it's so funny. This is what I think about all the time. When people people like me, you just make a statement. And everyone says, oh, yeah, that's true. And here's one. Oh, the 49ers got to get Kittle involved. They got to get Kittle involved to be good. No, they don't. They just dominated the game last night against the Rams, and he had 2 catches. Oh, you know what? We got to get Ayuk deep. We got to get Ayuk. Big play. 4 catches for 37 yards. Ayuk. Oh, okay.
You gave
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no.
I'm just saying, like, all this stuff about.
You throwing me an alley-oop. I'm about to come in there and get it.
I'm just saying, like, they're not going to put up big numbers. Nobody except probably Debo.
So I think of the word, just hearing you say that, preference. You talked about Sam Bowie, and greatness when you see it, you know. We did the show from the Hilton yesterday, Steiny. You know what jerseys I saw a lot of? 8-5. So to me, that tells me, okay, you're in it for the team, but your favorite player is George Kittle. And some fans want to see their favorite player be a big part of the win.
Okay.
So 2 for 24. I'm not saying George had a bad game, but you hear what you're saying you dislike because fans want to see their guy
I don't dislike
involved.
it. I don't care.
Yeah, but I'm with you.
But let me tell you something. The minute the 49ers lose, we're going to look at the win and say, I mean, he hasn't had a big game in 8 games.
Yeah.
George Kittle. That's all.
I thought he had the tug, too.
My point is now he just, like, the rule now has become 3 catches for 39 yards. That's the rule, not the exception anymore. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he definitely is not putting up Kelsey numbers. And outside of Debo.
He only did 1 year.
Outside of Debo, Steiny, this system is not designed to get others involved. But that video that, I don't know if you've seen it, where Ayuk, they show him just one-on-one with his man. I mean, he was giving them work. No, there was like 7 of them. But they won. So I can't come in here and say, oh, Brandon Ayuk had 4 for 37. That should have been 9 for 1. You know what? You're going to need him at some juncture in this season. But right now, last night, you said 24-9. I mean, teams can't even put up points. Well, the Bears did, because you talk about what they did. But that just makes it more maddening.
Dave's in Daly City. Get us started, Dave. What's up, man?
Hey, guys. I wanted to just come in and gush with the rest of you, too. What an incredible, furious, fantastic win. I was on the edge of my seat literally the entire time, and so unbelievably magnificent, especially the defense. Wow. I mean, I've been a Niner fan for, I'm a 3rd-generation Bay Area native and go way back with them. And really, I mean, they've had some great defenses in the past, like during the 80s and the 90s when they had the great dynasty years. They always had great defense. It always got overshadowed by the offense, but they were always like top 5. And 1 year in '87, the strike-shortened year, they ended the year number 1 overall on defense, number 1 overall on offense. Joe Montana was the top quarterback, and Jerry Rice was the top scorer in the league with 22 touchdowns, which usually it's a kicker is the top scorer, but Jerry is a whiteout with the top scorer. And I think this defense could be even better than that. They're that good. Now, on the other side of the coin, there were a couple of warts that I got to bring up. All right. First, let me say, I'll talk about Jimmy in a second. But in the passing game, Ray McCloud has his moments, but I would so much rather see Danny Gray out there with that speed downfield than Ray McCloud in there. And I guess, I don't know.
Give me your Jimmy take real quick.
Whatever. But anyway, that's one thing I'd like to see.
All right, Dave, thanks. We got a lot of people in, on hold here, and they want to get in.
You got to be happy if you're a Niner fan.
You turned your mic on?
It's on. You didn't catch it.
Hey, by the way, let me tell you one thing. We always talk in absolutes. You like this, you hate that. Let me tell you something about Kyle Shanahan. I'd rather have that 49er offense than trying to throw to the same guy 20 times a game. We talk about that.
They made a bad move in the offseason. They had Woods, and they let go and brought in Robinson, and it's not working out. But you're right. But, Steiny, with that said, against this defense, if you're Cooper Kupp, he put up 14 for 122.
Who cares? Like that, you want to talk about hollow numbers. Cooper Kupp had hollow numbers last night.
It was within they were within 8 points on that drive before the pick 6.
Those are hollow numbers. Completely and utterly hollow. And you know what? I think we're kidding ourselves, and we can look at it this way. That game was not in doubt. The game was not in doubt last night.
I was surprised that they were within 8. It felt like they were down 20 the whole game.
Don't forget.
And they had a good opening drive. Couldn't get the Rams. Held the ball, ran through.
Let's go to Nick. Nick's in Berkeley. What's up, Nick? How you doing, man?
Good, man. Hey, man, so Bosa jumped on Stafford's back last night, made his knees buckle, and as he floated to the ground, his feet touched the ground, he just flicked his wrist, man, and flipped Stafford on his back, dude. And I was like, wow, bro, like he was flipping over a piece of paper like a burger on the grill. I couldn't even believe it. But, I mean, Bosa was beasting out. The defense was beasting out. And the Rams didn't even want none. They was giving up, just like Green Bay was giving up, man. We had it. That's why they wanted to start fighting and start tussling and getting all mad and start yapping. But it was like Stafford was looking for places to lay down last night. Our deep, I love the way we blitzed all night long. When we wait, it can kick back and it prevents us from winning. And man, I just thought that, this is what I kept yelling at the TV. Jimmy G, keep telling yourself you're garbage. Keep reminding yourself that you was over.
Oh, he was giving Jimmy a pep talk.
Yeah. I liked it.
Oh, sorry about that. I thought he was calling him trash.
Well, he was. He was saying, Jimmy, keep thinking, keep listening to the people ripping you.
Do what Jordan did his whole career. Make something up. Jordan, remember how he would make stuff
Jimmy
up?
Jimmy wouldn't have to make it up. It's real.
I would give you a 4. An occasional 4 from Steiny. The rare 4.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Dude, you can get home with 4 and then Ryan start blitzing. When you can do that, Steiny, I mean, you're going to be a problem every Sunday, no matter who you face. Now, obviously, you're going to face some teams with a better offensive line, but I get, you know what? You kind of said, Goo, you came in here, you were emotional weeks past.
Yeah.
When you watch that, you just get mad that you got 2 L's on the list. That's all. 2 and 2. What were you
I thought you were going to say, when you watch a game like that, you just get mad that you did panic so early in the season.
No, never that. It's more maddening that you slipped up as a team and you got 2 losses and 1 to the sorry-ass Bears.
Moose, San Jose. What's going on, Moose? How you doing, man?
Hey, good afternoon, fellas. That was an amazing game to watch last night as a Niner fan. It was a good team win. A quick comment I want to say, fantasy football is not good for the Niners team. No players going to really rack up points. But my comment on Jimmy here, look, that was a classic Jimmy game. No turnovers, bunch of screen passes where he was getting ample yards after the catch. His wide receivers giving them those extra yards. And look, let's put the rat on the table here. Multiple plays left on the table. I'm not saying that he's the reason we lost the game or the reason we won the game. Obviously, defense is truly the reason why we won the game. But a couple of passes to Juszczyk, maybe an open Kittle in the flat, as well as if you really want to say it, if he throws a more accurate pass to Debo on the touchdown, that's a pick 6 going the opposite way.
So Moose, don't hang up on Moose because I do have a serious question. All right, so it feels like, Moose, you're hearing that people are overpraising Jimmy Garoppolo.
Agreed. I think he did, well, just like last season, he did exactly what he needed to do. Look,
well, let me ask you this.
I like Jimmy.
Is that good enough? Or how good is that? How good is that game last night? What does that get him? Playoffs? What do you think? Super Bowl?
It definitely gets you playoffs. It gets you playoffs, but like we saw last year, Cinderella lost her shoe. It only lasted three games. Couldn't get past NFC Championship. So
you still think we've seen this movie before, and they're going to come up short with Jimmy?
Definitely seen the movie before, but people calling in, look, Nick Bosa has taken it up to another level. We actually have a secondary. There's all 3 levels of the defense. I think that's going to be the bigger difference. It's not going to be the offense.
All right.
The defense now has a little bit of a tick up, I would say.
Appreciate the call, Moose. You know what? I couldn't get him to say.
Are you hearing
whether he thinks they can win the Super Bowl or not, though? He said, I've seen the movie before, but the defense is really good. He wouldn't commit, really.
Are you hearing that? See, the one thing about me, Steiny, is I know who Jimmy is. And you laughed and scoffed, and I quit going. I'm trying to quit going back to last year. But if Tart catches that pick, they're going to the Super Bowl. The game's over. My question to you is, that was good, Jimmy, last night. And that is good enough for them to beat anybody in the league on any stage. But I don't feel like Jimmy's getting extra praise, do you?
No, he gets praised a lot when he does.
Average.
No, I think he was better than average. I definitely think he was better than average. And I'll tell you why. It's because, to me, the most important stat for a quarterback is interceptions.
Yeah.
If you don't throw any if you do not turn the ball over as a quarterback, to me, that almost gets you to average no matter what else you've done.
I'm not mad
if you haven't turned it over. So, it's funny, and maybe this is the new technology, but it used to not be like this 25, 30 years ago. Oh, he missed a bunch that we never got to see on television. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The PFF stuff.
Exactly.
If I asked you who was the best offensive player last night for the 49ers, who would you say?
It's Deebo Samuel.
No, he was number 2.
Okay.
All right.